Welcome to the 60 Plus Podcast.
I'm Janet.
I'm Joe.
Hello.
Janet.
Are we going to do that thing again where we talk at the
Yeah, we're
same
going
time?
to do that thing again. It's called the 60 Plus Podcast. It's
Oh,
that
yeah. Is
thing.
that where we are?
Yes.
What we're doing? Okay,
Yes.
good.
What are we talking about today, Janet?
We're doing a nostalgia episode.
Nostalgia. I love nostalgia.
Yeah, I know. Me too. And we haven't done one of these in a while.
No, we
So,
haven't.
you know,
I remember when we used to do those more often.
I know. Wasn't those
See what
were
I did
good
there?
times? Good times. Well, it's, here on the 60 Plus podcast, we do have these sort of themes, if you will, of episodes. Like we do our nostalgia, we do our Mythbusters, we have
Real
our
talk.
real talk episodes, and then we have uncut discussions. That's a little bit newer. And, and then we have guest speakers
Mhm.
and all kinds of things and talking about topics of the day. So we thought we would have a little fun with this one. And it's a nostalgia episode about summer vacations.
Well, it seems appropriate given the time
Well,
of year.
that was the idea. Yes.
Okay, good idea.
Yeah.
Glad I thought of it.
Huh? We're going to talk about, how we used to spend our summer vacations and also kind of take a little glimpse into how that has probably changed over the last 50 years, right?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, even vacations that we take today as, 60 plus people, I'm sure they've changed as well, but we're looking at how young families are doing those vacations versus how we may have done them back in the day.
And some of it's surprising, actually. I
Yeah.
was a little surprised by some of the things we learned. The number of vacation days people take. I was surprised by this.
Yeah.
According to Statista.com,
Oh.
in 1981, average Americans took 21.2 vacation days.
Mm-hmm.
As recently as 2015, they took 16 days.
Yeah, it's a lot less.
That's a lot less. It's five.
And also
5 days
the
less.
length of the vacation. So back in the day, in the 1970s, it was 1 to 2 weeks on average. Today, it's 3 to 7 days.
Well, if you reduce the number of days that you're taking vacation, the length of the
length,
vacation
they
needs to
take, so they
change.
take more frequent, shorter trips.
Yes.
And, do you really get a chance to unplug? And certainly with, technology, probably the theory is you don't, right? And when back in the day, when we were growing up,
There was no technology.
there was no technology. So you didn't have those issues, if you will. But can you remember some of your vacations back in the day?
I can. There are a couple of things that stick in my mind.
Yeah.
First, I didn't get on a plane until I was a senior in high school. That was the
You know what? I was thinking the same thing. I
And-
never got on a plane for summer vacation.
I don't think, I have to think about this for a moment. I have never flown with my parents. Ever.
Oh,
Or my sister.
that's interesting.
I've
I'm
never
trying
flown
to
with
think.
my
Yeah.
my family.
Right.
Yes. But my parents and my sister, no. Never.
Well, my
never.
mom didn't like to fly.
Okay. I
So
like
that's
to
one of the
fly.
reasons why that may have been. But, back in the day, you hopped in the car, right? You had the big road trip, right? Do you remember what vehicle you used to hop in?
The big road trip that I remember was 1976. It was the year of the bicentennial.
Ah,
And we drove to Florida
yes.
from Massachusetts,
Mm-hmm.
the four of us in a car with no air conditioning.
Oh.
It was an Oldsmobile 98
Mm-hmm.
was the model of the car with the windows open the whole way,
Yep.
which is exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
And we drove to Florida. We would stay. There was no planning ahead where we were going to stop. It would be like, my dad would say, okay, tired of driving,
Yep.
let's find a place to stay. We would stay in a place where my mother insisted
Mm-hmm.
that she see the room before we rent a room.
Smart lady.
She would go in and she'd be like, nope, not acceptable. We have to find someplace else.
Oh my goodness.
No, And
It must have taken you a long
oh
time.
gosh, yeah. And I
Well,
mean,
was there like a chain? Remember Howard Johnson's, I think,
oh,
had.
Howard Johnson. Yeah, no, we
Yeah.
never stayed at Howard Johnson. That was too classy for us. No, we were staying in the place in the woods with, which was just like a little
Like
hut.
a scene from Psycho.
Yes. No. And she would go into the room, and I was 14, no, 16 at the time. I was 16 at the time, and I remember being embarrassed that my mother would go into the room and pull the covers off the bed,
Checking for bed bugs.
look
Say that 10 times fast.
and she would look in the bathroom and see if it was clean. And she would be like, "Nope, we're not staying here," and we'd go on to another place.
Wow. Wow.
And we went to Disney World.
Hmm.
That was the destination. That was a big vacation for us.
Yeah.
We went to Disney World, where we didn't stay in a hotel. We stayed in the campground,
Hmm.
and there was like an RV type trailer on the site for us, and that's where we stayed.
Oh, interesting.
Yep, that was planned ahead. My mom found this way you can
Okay.
have it
Right,
delivered.
because if you think about it, back in the day, again, like how did you plan for things? It's not like you could go on the internet or, Airbnb it or,
Well, think about, okay, it's time to stop for the day. Stop
Right.
driving for the day. We have to find a place.
Right.
So we would just pull off the highway and just drive until we found a place.
Well, we used to drive to Florida actually every year because my grandparents moved to Florida.
Hmm.
And so when I was, pretty young, we would start going every year in a yellow Ford station wagon.
Did you have seatbelts?
Probably, but I don't remember for sure. But I always loved it. I always loved getting in the car. I still do, actually. I love road trips. But we used to have the mobile guide.
Oh, the
So,
mobile travel guide.
yeah.
Hmm.
And, my mom would look for places based on the star system. And, I remember one time staying, it was like you, we were camping. We were camping in that Chincoteague National Park.
I don't know what you're saying.
Chincoteague is in Virginia. It's where like the wild ponies are. And the black flies were also out.
Do you know
at that
why?
time.
Because the wild ponies were there.
Well, whatever, they had very big teeth, and it was so bad that we didn't stay. We had to pack the tent up and leave. That's
You were in
how
a
bad it was.
tent.
Oh yeah. We could barely get the tent up, and that was it. My dad was like, "That's it. We're staying at." We ended up at this really nice hotel in, I think, Annapolis, Maryland. And my mom found it in the mobile guide. And I guess she figured if all was lost, we were going to stay at this very nice hotel. And I remember I dropped my Timex watch down the elevator shaft.
An open elevator shaft.
It was, yeah, how I did that, I have no idea. It was like, it went right down the slot. It was one of these old elevators,
Mhm.
and they found it and they sent it back to me.
Really?
And it was still ticking.
Takes a licking
Yeah.
and keeps on ticking.
Yep. The face of it was cracked, and I wrote them a letter about it, I
You wrote
think.
Timex a letter?
Yeah, I
You
did.
wanted to be on a commercial.
No, I was only 12, I think, or something
Yeah.
like that when that happened. But anyway, that whole vacation just stuck in my head.
The other vacation that I remember, I have to give some backstory because we stayed in a fancy hotel, which was not what we did. This is the only time I can remember
Yeah.
staying in a fancy hotel. My mother's sister, my aunt, was a nightclub singer.
Oh,
Ver-
cool.
Very nice nightclubs that she sang at
Mm-hmm.
in hotels.
Mm-hmm.
And she sang she had like a 2-week gig at a place in northern New Hampshire,
Hmm.
Dixville Notch, New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah, I know
First
where
place
that
in
is.
America to vote.
Really?
Every year, it's Dixville Notch there's like
That's
7
supposed to be
voters.
beautiful hiking and stuff.
It's beautiful up there, and the name of the hotel was the Balsams. It was an old
Oh,
New
lovely.
England style hotel.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if it's still around.
No time. They revived a number of years ago, and then it went bust again. She had a gig there and arranged for us to get a deal
Nice.
So we went and we stayed for a week at the Balsams Hotel in Dixville Notch, New Hampshire, where men had to wear jacket and tie to dinner.
Oh,
Uh,
fancy.
and that was the fanciest place we ever stayed, before or after. Even, it beat the camper at Disney World. You know what the worst part of the trip to Disney World was?
What?
Driving home. So we stayed at the Balsams Hotel, where my dad and I each only had one jacket and tie, so we had to wear the same thing every day. We didn't
That's
know
so
about the rules.
cute.
It
So
was
cute.
very fun. And from there, we drove for a day trip to Montreal, Canada, which was
Wow.
exotic. That we were in a foreign
Yeah,
country.
that was French.
So that was those were the two big vacations that stick in my mind. A couple of times we would go to like Vermont and stay, or New Hampshire and stay in the White
Yeah.
Mountains in a little
We used to do
cabin.
quite a bit of camping, and which I always enjoyed, especially if there was a swimming pool or a beach nearby.
I
But
still enjoy camping.
yeah, I do remember going up to Canada, Nova Scotia, one year camping.
hmm
And I remember swimming in the St. Lawrence River, and it was
I
freezing.
imagine it was very cold.
And I would swim anywhere at any time. Like everybody else would be out of the water, I would be in it and, not feeling the cold. Not the case these days.
So you know what I wonder if they still have at
What?
AAA. You used to go to AAA and they would do the triptychs.
They still do that.
Do they still do that?
Well, yeah, they'll
Who
have.
was using the triptychs? You have GPS on your phone. It's like
Well, I
updated for
personally,
traffic.
and I have talked about this before.
You don't like GPS, I know.
It's not like I don't like GPS,
You don't know how to use
but
it.
I love. Stop that. But I do love maps. And in fact, when I recently went to Canada, I did go into AAA because I was doing the driving on the trip.
Okay.
And I had them plot out my entire course of action here because I was going Toronto and I was going to Montreal and I was going to be going to a couple other spots and wanted some nice spots on the way, to chop up the trip. And they, took out the old fashioned yellow marker
Did they really?
and, give me the route. And yeah, and I could see the big picture and that's what I liked about it. But I
Was the
remember
woman's name Doris, and was she 85 years old that was doing the triptychs?
now, but I can fondly remember going through the atlas with my dad, doing the same thing, like plotting out. And then even like when I was a young adult, I'd be going on a trip or something, and he'd like take the atlas and plot out the course for me. And I think that that's fun and it's very educational. I tend to wonder how many people can read a map these days, how many kids can read a map these days, or fold a map.
We remember you used to get maps at the gas station. They
Yeah.
would give you the maps.
Or you'd stop at the Welcome Center.
Mhm.
Which they still have maps at the Welcome Center, clearly, but
But they're more advertising
yeah, it's
media
right.
than map
Yeah,
now.
but yeah, it's still a map,
hmm
and I still get them,
Yeah.
and yeah, but that was part of the fun, right? That you were part of the planning process, and it was a learning experience. Where you were going, the stops along the way were usually like either historical in nature or, to your point, it would be, I remember going to the Fountain of Youth.
In Florida?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or was that Florida?
Is that
Or
Ponce de Leon? Was
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Do you-
So,
Fun fact about maps. So maps, there's a lot of effort that goes into creating a map,
of course, yeah.
and they're copywritten.
Mm-hmm.
But other companies will steal the copywritten material for a map.
Mm.
And you know how they know that it's stolen?
How?
The original map maker will put fake things into the map.
Oh, really?
And so they'll put a fake street, a fake something that
Like a miles.
doesn't actually exist. And if it's copied and it copies that fake thing, they'll know that it was copied from there.
Well, that's not very good if you're actually using the map to
No one's looking for that real thing. So it's
How do
some
you know?
it's some obscure thing that no one would really look for. It's some little small street that doesn't exist, and if you copy it,
Yeah.
well, you're going to be in
But
trouble.
so recently we're looking for all the highest spots in every state. I forget what it's called. It's like high topping or something like that.
Okay.
And so if you go, when you go around to the United States, you can go to the highest point in every state.
Mm-hmm.
And in Delaware,
Is it like 85 feet?
yeah, it was like in this random park, and it was just like a hump. But yeah, that's the type of thing that would be on the map.
Do you want a fun fact about Delaware?
Okay, sure.
Do you know what the
This is about
official?
summer vacation?
Well, no, but my daughter, you know how when you're in grade school you get a state and you have to learn all about the state?
Yes.
Delaware was hers, and she thought Delaware was, and I'm sorry for people that are listening that might be in Delaware. She thought it was the most boring state in the world. She said, "Dad, do you know how boring it is? Their official state drink is milk."
Well, I disagree. I think that
Oh,
Delaware has
Delaware can be beautiful. The
beautiful
shoreline.
shoreline. They take really good care of their beaches,
Hmm.
and it's beautiful. It's really quite beautiful.
The state has beach houses, small little cottages that you can rent in state parks in Delaware,
Yes, that's
Mhm.
right. That's right.
and they're very nice.
And there's good camping too along the water too.
I don't see you camping, Janet.
Well, my camping days are probably over.
I still like camping, but
I
it's
like camping at the Ritz-Carlton.
it's. The chambermaid laughs when she walks in your room and sees a tent set up in the room. No, and so I've been camping since I was a kid.
Right.
It's a little bit more. The tents are bigger. I do bring a big air mattress, and
Yeah,
and
you're glamping.
it is glamping.
I would probably glamp.
I still cook outside and go hiking
I
and do
just
all
don't
that.
like insects that much. So
Oh yeah, the black
yeah.
fly. Yeah.
Well, and the ticks. Ew.
Yeah.
Those are the things that really freak me out.
Sure. They existed when you were a kid and you liked camping.
Yeah, but Lyme's disease wasn't a thing.
Oh, okay.
Not to get off track here.
Okay.
Wah, wah, wah.
Things you say when you're over 60.
Wah, wah,
I
wah.
remember when I was a kid and we didn't have Lyme's
We
disease.
didn't have ticks back then.
What else is different about vacations now than back in the day?
Well, there's all these apps and, websites. And how many times have you seen a family, like say you're at an airport or whatever, and they're sitting around waiting for their plane, and every single one of them has their phone out and they're looking down at their phone.
Oh, sure.
There's
was in a
no
restaurant recently.
interaction.
I was at a restaurant recently, sitting at a table, and I looked, and there were 5 tables to my right,
Mm,
and every single person at every one of those tables was looking at their phone.
I know.
Every single one. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. It's kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit sad.
Well,
it's
it
just-
depends
it
on why you're
makes-
looking at it.
It makes connection very hard.
Sometimes I can connect with someone because of the phone. So it's like, oh, look at this picture that I just got from my daughter.
Yeah, or you can reach out to somebody you haven't spoken to in a long time or seen in a long time, and you can FaceTime. Yes, I do agree with that.
Sure. Speaking about pictures,
Yes.
vacation pictures are very different now than they used
Oh
to
my
be.
goodness, we
right?
didn't. Well, first of all, you didn't take them
No, no,
unless you had a Polaroid.
no. We took the pictures, and I had an uncle who documented every vacation he ever went on, and then you'd have to sit through the slideshow.
Oh, the slideshow.
The
I remember
slideshow of
the
his vacation.
slideshows.
Do you remember I remember the sound of the chunk of the
Yes,
slide.
yes,
The
slide projector.
slide projector.
Yes, with the slide going down. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I remember.
Now it's hundreds of pictures of your vacation, and they're all
And
posted
everything you're eating, and
I was looking. I'm going to a restaurant this weekend.
everything you're wearing.
I'm going to a restaurant this weekend that I've been to several times, and I really, really like it.
Mm.
And I just happened to look at some reviews of the restaurant recently.
Mhm.
A reviewer had posted 49 pictures
Oh, my.
of their meal from that one visit
Of
49 pictures of their meal.
So the whole time you're sitting there with this person, they're
Uh-huh.
taking photographs,
Yes.
basically.
Yes. 49. I don't have 49 pictures this year of anything. I really do. Oh, maybe like the label inside my dishwasher to know what model it is.
Right. Why are these people doing it? I mean, do they want to become like a food influencer or something like that? Or, like there's always some weird reason.
All right. So w- we talked about destinations.
Yeah.
According to the research that I've done, the classic 1970s American vacation centered on things like national parks,
Mm-hmm.
beaches reachable by car,
Mm-hmm.
theme parks like Disney World, for instance, family reunions, and your favorite, camping.
Yes.
Today's popular choices, international travel.
Right to your earlier point. And I mean, I was in college when I got on a plane first time.
And I went from Boston to Washington, D.C. I mean, it was
Yeah, I got back to college one time on People's.
People's Express.
Yes. And when the plane landed, all the oxygen masks came down. I'm like, I don't think I want to be on a plane again.
Uh, Cruises today, cruises.
Cruises.
Have you ever been on a cruise?
I have, but that's because my mother didn't like to
Uh,
fly.
One time, and I've checked that box. Don't need to do it again. Other destinations now that are popular, all-inclusive resorts,
Mm-hmm.
urban tourism. I actually kind of like urban tourism,
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to another city and
Yeah, it is
experiencing
cool.
that city.
Yeah, you
Yep,
take tours and stuff.
yep.
Hop on, hop off.
Uh,
Experience-based trips. This is like a big one. It's with like the millennials, especially. They want experiences.
mhm.
The other thing that is on this list of today's choices is short bucket list trips.
Sure, such
Well, I
as.
guess that's kind of in our wheelhouse, right?
What would be a bucket list trip for you?
Oh gosh, there's so many. I don't even know where to begin. I actually had two bucket list trips scheduled, and then the pandemic hit. And I don't think I've gotten over that yet. I'm slowly trying to make my way through my bucket list trips, but I don't really know how to answer that question. I'm just thinking about it in the context if like you only had one more trip that you could do, where would it be?
Where would it be?
I
You have
that's
to decide right now, Janet.
I can't.
Okay, you can't go then.
Something I must see before. I think about like I've never been to Venice, or
Mm.
something like. But then I think, oh, Galapagos, I can be like all over the place. Or
Sure. But it's kind of like saying if you only have one food for the rest of your life,
Mm.
what would it be? Well,
And
if
then I think about some of the places that I loved over the years, and I'm like, maybe I'd like to go back there one more
Sure.
time, or just enjoy my time, staycation, which is, I guess, also another trend that we see these days is more and more people are doing quote unquote staycations
Mhm.
or wellness travel. And I think that's because we're also, busy and it's hectic and life has gotten, faster and faster. And, gone are the days where, trips were about relaxation and family bonding, and now they're like about, trying to manage like all this activity and still, get a little bit of downtime. And I think that wellness travel and the staycations are appealing. Not to mention, and this kind of bummed me out, but just this year, Americans, I guess, are scaling back travel. 37% say they may skip a summer travel altogether because they can't afford it,
Mhm.
and they're planning to spend 25% less on vacations this year. That's a lot.
25%.
That's significant.
That is
So the ones
significant.
who are traveling are
Mhm.
spending 25% less.
But compare what even that 75% that they will spend, compare to what our parents spent when we were young.
Yeah, I'm just
In real
wondering, like,
dollars, that's still
if
way
some
more.
of the things that we used to do might come back, right? Like some of the simpler, if you will, vacations, I think is kind of maybe trending back.
Sure. No, I agree. It's funny you talk about, do you want to go someplace new or do you want to go back to a place that you've been that you really love?
Mm.
I'm of two minds about that, and that I do have a location that I love. We've been going for years and years and years, and I'll go back again anytime.
Yes.
But then I do like going to newer places I haven't been as
Right.
well.
Yeah. It's a sense of adventure.
So that might be why you do shorter trips, because you
Mm.
want to do more places. Where
Right.
when we were younger, you take a week or two vacation, you go to one place, and that was it. That was it for the year,
Right.
if you went at all.
Well, and it's interesting, like in the age group that we're in now, right? Where, many of us are retiring, which allows for a lot more time to potentially think about these trips
Sure.
and whatnot. So it's exciting from that perspective, to have that time, to be able to explore.
Do you know what's a good thing to do on vacation?
Yes, I know what you're going to say.
Then go ahead, say it.
Listen to the 60 Plus podcast.
Exactly.
You could listen to the 60 Plus podcast about vacations while you're on vacation.
Wow, that's.
Whew.
Do the kids call that meta? It sounds like a meta thing. And tell other people. So people that you meet on vacation,
Yeah.
tell them about the 60 Plus podcast. That's really what I was going to say. Tell them about the 60
Oh,
Plus
were you?
podcast.
Okay.
Yes. And spread the message far and wide
Yes,
to all those
please.
exotic
To our
locales you make.
global audience.
All right. I think that's it for this week's episode. It was fun talking about our vacations of the past.
I know. Now I want to go on vacation right now.
All right. I'm Joe.
I'm Janet. Bye.